Hey guys, let's discuss today's set of questions. Here's the first one. It's about the newly appointed Prime Minister, the first ever woman Prime Minister designate of Tunisia, and her name is Nazla Boudoun. Nazla Boudoun is first ever Prime Minister of this North African country. In fact, Tunisia is the northernmost country in Africa. What you need to understand is that this is a predominantly unstable country. It has had great deal of political instability, especially since 2011. That is when a dictator named Ben Ali was thrown out, and democracy came in. But unfortunately for the country, there has been a great deal of political stability, especially in the last 2 years. The current president, and it's a presidential system. So the president, Tunisia's president, the capital is Tunis. The capital is Tunis, and the president is a guy called Kais Saied. In some places, you may not find this second A, which is okay. Don't worry too much. Different spellings of proper nouns are a norm. Yeah, like Bharat, Bharat, Bharat. Yeah. Incidentally, that's my name, but what spelling I write is not important here. Okay. What spelling I use is not important. This is Kais Said, and the currency of Tunisia would be dinar, Tunisian dinar. Okay, yeah. So, what about the choices? Should we be looking at? And by the way, Nazla Boudoun is a geologist by training, by qualification. And this is a country which has seen a great deal of protest, especially in the last few months, because of one perceived power grab by the president, Kais Saied, and second, lack of employment and political impoverishment. Economic impoverishment. So Morocco again, you see, is if you look at North Africa, North Africa, if you look at like this, okay, this is Morocco. You have Algeria. Up here is Tunisia, pretty small country, Libya, okay, and then Egypt. So this would be how this continent is, okay. So Morocco's capital is Rabat. That's the capital with the biggest. It's not the biggest city there, but it's a capital, Rabat, and the king. It's a monarchical system. Of course, there is a prime minister, but importantly, there is the more powerful chap there, the king. His name is Mohammed VI. Mohammed VI, and Moroccan currency is dirham. Moroccan dirham. What about Egypt? Let me clear this first. Okay, Egypt's capital, as you would be greatly familiar with, is Cairo, or Cairo, as some people say. And the president is a dictator. He was a military chief earlier. He dismissed the president-elect, the president Mohamed Morsi, and grabbed power. His name is Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. That's the president. And the currency is Egyptian pound. Pound. Egyptian pound. Chad, CHAD. I think we'll just finish once on the order 1, 2, 3. It's actually 3, 1, 3, 5. But anyway, what's the last one there? That is in the fifth place. Algeria, whose capital is Algiers, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest country in Africa by area. The biggest country in Africa by area is Algeria, a little over 23 lakh square kilometers. And Algeria, you would find that the president here is a guy called Abdelmajid Tebboune. recently its ex-president Abdulaziz Bouteflika died. In fact, he died a couple of weeks back. Abdel Aziz Bouteflika was the president between 1989 and 2019. In 2019 also, he didn't want to give up power, but unfortunately for him, while he fell sick, and terribly sick, in fact, the people around him, in the beginning, they let him be the president, though he was wheelchair bound and did not appear in public for about 11 months. They began to run the government in his name, did all kinds of mischievous things. But then finally he put in papers under public pressure, and now it's Abdelmajid Tebboune who's the president of this country. And the currency is dinar, Algerian dinar, D-I-N-A-R. Dinar. Chad is this country in the Sahara Desert. It is one of the poorest countries in the world, and N'Djamena, that's the name of the capital. Okay, this is run by, for now, a transitional government is in place, which is headed by Mohammed Debi. His father, Idris Deby, was killed recently in April 2021. He was killed by, opposition forces, which want to replace the current democratic setup with its own versions, of course, its own militant version. But this Idris Deby was killed when he was visiting the battlefront of his country's military forces against what he described as terrorists. But unfortunately, in that place he was killed, and later an interim council was arranged, led by his son Mohammed Deby. Okay, and the currency, of course, is not. Of course, it's tough actually to know. It's Central African franc. Central African franc, F-R-A-N-C, franc. Okay, that's about these choices, and the question was about the new Prime Minister of Tunisia, the northernmost country in Africa. Whom of the following persons has been honored with the prestigious Idan Prize 2021 for Educational Development? Rukmini Banerjee. Now, some of you might think, hey, that Eric Hanushek also had won the prize, same prize, but that was for educational research. The question is about education development. So I'm going to tell you a little about Idan Prize. Please write Idan Prize 2021. If I'm not wrong, it's a Jewish name. In any case, Idan Prize, underline that, first point, awarded, I'm drinking water, not anything else, awarded for significant contribution to science of education. Next, below that, for educational development. So for the prize for educational development dash Dr. Rukmini Banerjee, comma, CEO of Pratham Education Foundation, Pratham Education Foundation, comma, which works in childhood education area, early childhood education areas. Early childhood would be between 3 and 6 in this case. Okay, next. Prize for educational research. Dash Professor Eric Hanushek, Eric Hanushek. Now, see, Pratham had come about, had started a particular program called Teaching at Right Level, called TRAL. Even before that, Dr. Rukmini Banerjee came up after commissioning a study called ESSER, which is the Annual Status of Education Report. Annual Status of Educational Report. In this, let me write it, ESSER, Annual Status of Educational Report. Now, in this particular report, this was a pan-India survey, 100 districts, about 6 lakh students. 6 lakh students, 100 district, okay, 100 districts. So it was a household citizen-based survey. It was not something that experts had carried out. It was a household citizen-based survey. Now, in that survey, it was found that most kids, below the age of 10 fail to do basic mathematics and fail to read. So they lack fluency in reading and they lack fluency in what is called numeracy. They lack basic numeracy. So this is when she started, learning at right level program. Teaching at right level. Teaching at right level. TRAL. The idea was that children will be taught at the level they are, not in the grade they are. So the right level, if some say I was 7 years old and I was not, usually I would be in class 2 or 3, let's say, normally I would be in class 3. Now, but here the idea is, in class 3, if I'm not able to read, not able to do basic maths, then I will be taught the stuff that would help me become better at my level, not the grade stuff. So I will not be treated as a class 3 student, maybe as a class 1 or class 2 student. So teaching at the right level is very important. It always is important. Yeah. So, and I found this all on our this Pratham website. Okay, plus Iran Prize website. They have an exclusive prize, website on this. Interesting stuff if we just explore, my friends. India has been ranked dash on the Digital Quality of Life Index. 59th, I think. India's rank is 50. Yeah, so why don't you write Digital Quality of Life Index? Digital Quality of Life Index. Underline that. 110 nations. So it ranked 110 nations. Okay, right. Ranking based on 5 parameters. 5 parameters dash. Ranking based on 5 parameters dash. Internet affordability. What are the 5 parameters, right? Internet affordability, comma, its internet quality, comma, e-infrastructure. E is electronic infrastructure, or simply called e-infrastructure. These days everything is e-infrastructure. Okay, right. E-government, and e-services. Sorry, not services. Security. I'm so sorry. E-security. I'm so sorry for this. E-security, electronic security. So these are the 5 parameters. Affordability is a major issue in many countries of the world. See, in India we use, India has probably the cheapest data services in the world, and that has happened especially in the last 3-4 years. Now, as data has become cheaper, it has democratized access. a lot of people, millions more have come into the internet economy because of cheap data. So they are able to sell, they are able to access information, but of course we can't really say the same about the kind of security we have on our electronic networks, basically. So in any case, next, right, top five countries, top 5 ranked countries. Right. 1, Denmark. You write in full. Denmark. 2, South Korea. South Korea. Say don't put a dot after 1, 2, 3, yeah, or 4, 5. I'm going to give you up to 5. Don't put dots. As I told you in the past, a dot after a number indicates a serial order. Okay, we are not serializing, we are simply ranking. Okay. 3, Finland. 4, Israel. So Israel is the highest ranked Asian country in this. 5, US. Sorry, not Israel is not the highest ranked, it is South Korea that is highest ranked. I'm so sorry. So worldwide, the number 1 country on all these parameters is Denmark. Second is South Korea, which of course is the highest ranked Asian country, non-European country. Okay, so the highest non-European, non-Asian country would be United States. Next, 59, India. 59, India. 22, China. 22, China. I'm not coming in order in case of India and China. China, and the last ranked 110, Ethiopia. 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 Next, the International Day for Universal Access to Information is observed on September 28th. एक काम करते हैं, let's write some important days in September. Okay, please write important days in September. I may not give you the full list, but few important ones. Okay, so September 5th, Teachers Day, National Teachers Day. National Teachers. So when I say national, I'm talking of, let's say, because there is something called international, there is national also. Okay, National Teachers Day, because it's a birthday of India's first Vice President and second President, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, who was also an Oxford University professor of philosophy. Of course, he was an educationist par excellence. So September 5th, National Education Day, birthday of Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. Next, 8th, September 8th, International Literacy Day. Literacy Day. September 8th, Literacy Day. International Literacy Day. This is international. Okay. Next, 14th September. So all September only. 14th September, Hindi Divas. Hindi Divas. Hindi Divas. Hindi Divas. September 15th, Engineers Day. I normally say engineers instead of engineers. Engineers Day. You can put a Engineers Day dash birthday of Mokshagundam Visvesvaraya. Mokshagundam Visvesvaraya. Okay. Next. Okay. Here is the Bharat Ratna in 1955, the second year of Bharat Ratna. He was a builder of modern India. He built the Bhadravati steel plant, the Krishnaraja Sagar Dam in Karnataka. 16th September, Ozone Day. Ozone ozone day, sorry, ozone day. 21st, Alzheimer's day. You know, it's a disease of the mind. People keep forgetting. I mean, it's a disease that where memory becomes a casualty. Okay. Next, 22nd September, Rose Day. Rose Day. In brackets, Cancer Patients Welfare Day. Cancer Patients Welfare Day. Cancer Patients Welfare Day. Next, 27th September, World Tourism Day. World Tourism Day. Last one, 4th Sunday of September. 4th Sunday of September, World Rivers Day. RIVERS, rivers, Nadiyan. I think in the previous session we looked at World Pharmacist Day. Yeah, isn't it? 3 things we looked at. So just I brought one of them. Fair. To help businesses cope with the pandemic's adverse effects, the Union government recently extended the 4.5 lakh crore emergency credit line guarantee scheme till 31st March 2022. That's the end of the financial year. So what exactly is the scheme? Please write emergency credit line guarantee scheme. Emergency, you write in full that thing on the screen there, ECLGS. Okay, underline that, first one. To help eligible borrowers, help eligible borrowers in brackets, including MSMEs, in meeting operational expenses and liabilities, operational expenses and liabilities means loans and all that stuff, and restarting their businesses. Their business is fine. Restarting their business in the wake of disruption caused by COVID-19. Oh, it has changed life, man. COVID-19. Full stop. Next. Extended till, you write this, extended till 31st March 2022 or till total amount of 4.5 lakh crore, it's on the screen, 4.5 lakh crore is sanctioned. Total amount of 4.5 lakh crore is sanctioned through loans, is sanctioned through this scheme, through this scheme. Fair. next. Okay. As of September 30th, 2021, a total loans sanctioned, simple Pasha, loans sanctioned have crossed loans sanctioned have crossed 2.86 lakh crore. $2.86 lakh crore. Okay. See, yes, there was this demand that extend it, because the scheme was to expire on 30th September 2021, and by then about 2.86 lakh crore rupees of loans had been sanctioned, though the target is 4.5 lakh crore rupees. But there have been demands from a lot of business enterprises, lot of business organizations have petitioned the Finance Minister of India, Nirmala Sitharaman, to extend the scheme, because things are still not good for businesses, especially at the smaller level, and that they would need some kind of access to credit, which the Finance Minister said, okay, well, let's get on with this then. So it's been extended till the end of this financial year, and if the target of 4.5 lakh crore of loans is sanctioned, basically is achieved, then the scheme would close before 31st March, whichever is earlier, that is. But things are pretty bad out there, my friends. So in the previous session, I had mentioned, when I was discussing the ministries, the guys heading those ministries, one of those choices was the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, and I had told you that I was not very sure, I told you this as well, that the Ministry of MSMEs is headed by Sarbanand Sonowal, and I told you that I was not very sure, and in case I was wrong, I would get back to you. So now I remember that, and I told you that I could be wrong. Well, I was wrong. I am wrong, okay? The Ministry of, see, I never feel ashamed of being incorrect. I'm your teacher. As a teacher, I should not feel ashamed. I believe a teacher should not feel ashamed in admitting to one's mistakes, and of course, telling you that I don't know, because that's the first step in, toward learning. So the moment I say I don't know, I'll end up and put in effort to. I'm curious by nature. Then I learn, and then I can share with you. That's how I share. I went through these policies and everything. I spent some time, about 5-6 hours, to prepare for this 1 hour, 1.5 hour class. But in the process, as a teacher, I become better, because I'm learning things. and this is what you should be doing. Throughout your life, you should be learning. Learning should be the key to everything. Learning is everything, my friends. Okay? Whatever you learn will never go waste. It will help you today, if not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it will help you day after tomorrow. But it will help. Yeah? So, the MSME minister, you could write this. MSME minister is a new guy who is ex-chief minister of Maharashtra, Narayan Rane. Union Minister of MSME is Narayan Tatu Rane. Chaliye. Oh, there is a choice like this. The cabinet has recently approved the listing of the state-run Export Credit Guarantee Corporation, the stock exchanges. ECGC comes under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. But look at choice 1. So we now know who heads this ministry, Narayan Tatu Rane. Ministry of Commerce and Industry, my friends, is headed by Piyush Goyal. Piyush Goyal, you know this name. He also heads other ministries, but sometime later we could come to, or if you want, he heads one more ministry. Okay, let's write textiles. He heads textiles. There's one more sometime later. Too much of stuff. Yeah, maximum two ministries will write. Labor and employment, sorry, what is it? Labor and employment. Labor and employment, Bhupendra Yadav. Bhupendra Yadav. He also heads another ministry, which is Environment, Forest and Climate Change. I repeat, Environment, Forest and Climate Change. And Climate Change. So, Minister of External Affairs, Subramaniam Jaishankar. Subramaniam Jaishankar. Subramaniam Jaishankar. Next, Ministry of Heavy Industries. He is headed by Mahendra Nath Pandey. Mahendra Nath Pandey. Mahendra Nath Pandey. Okay, yeah. Which public sector bank has recently unveiled a campaign named Utsav Dhamaka to boost retail sector loan growth? Well, the Indian Bank. What is this? If you want, right? Indian Bank dash Utsav Dhamaka dash Utsav Dhamaka dash to boost. Oh, sorry, to provide loans. Provide loans across categories in brackets like home and vehicle, okay, to boost retail growth, boost retail growth. To boost retail growth. See, Indian Bank has a new CEO, and the name is Shantilal Jain. You could write this, Shantilal Jain. Shantilal Jain. Bank of Baroda is headed by Sanjeev Chadda. CEO is Sanjeev Chadda. Canara Bank, Lingam Venkata Prabhakar. Okay, Lingam Venkata Prabhakar. State Bank of India, you know, Dinesh Khara, Khara. Dinesh Khara. Union Bank of India, last one, Raj Kiran Rai. Who is also the chairperson of the Indian Banks Association, chairman of IBA. Indian Banks Association. Next, Padmaja Chunduru has recently been appointed Managing Director and CEO of the NSDL. You know what? She was, before Shantilal Jain became the CEO of Indian Bank, it was Padmaja Chunduru who headed the bank. And now she is the chairperson of the NSDL. Please write NSDL. Underline that. First point. Established 1996. Second one. Comes under jurisdiction of Securities and Exchange Board of India. Look at choice 2. Securities and Exchange Board of India. Securities and Exchange Board of India. Next, right, first electronic securities depository depository, singular, RY. Securities depository. Dash, continue there, dash. Provides demat, comma, transfer and settlement of, provides demat, transfer and settlement of securities services. Securities services. Securities services. Demat stands for dematerialization. Those of you not greatly comfortable, my friends, dematerialization, materialization. You can write an S also. Material, this is material. A phone is a material. You can touch and feel. This glass, this AC, yeah, the two ACs on either side. You know, the ceasefire thing. All that, anything that can be touched and felt is material. Dematerial, something that cannot be seen or touched. Okay, it is more of a service kind of thing. Thing is, in the past, shares could be bought and sold, and they were bought and sold through paper. I mean, everything in the share certificate was a paper certificate. If I bought shares from you, I would get a paper. Ownership, paper was a sign of ownership. It led to a lot of problems, transfer, stealing, delays and all that stuff. So, the government of India came up with this idea of having everything in demat form. That is, you could have shares and everything in electronic form. It's like, you don't have a physical copy. So you open a demat account with a brokerage house, and you buy shares, they directly come into your account. They get reflected in the account. It's like, a bank entry. You deposit money into your account, it gets reflected. You withdraw, it gets reflected, like that. So when you buy shares, it gets reflected, bought so and so, date, purchase price, everything. And when you sell, they go from here. That's the idea. So today shares are in dematerialization form only. Okay, that is, you cannot buy, sell through paper. There is no paper share kind of thing. What about the choices here? SEBI CEO is Ajay Tyagi. Export and Import Bank of India. Export and Import Bank of India is, there is no chairperson or CEO. There is an MD and her name is Harsha Bangari. Harsha Bangari is the MD of Exim Bank of India. Okay, Harsha Bangari. Bombay Stock Exchange is headed by Ashish Kumar Chauhan. National Stock Exchange is headed by Vikram Limaye. Boxing legend and 8th division world champion Manny Pacquiao has recently announced retirement from the game. He is from the Philippines. You look at this, is Manny. Manny is about 42 years old, 42, 43, more than that actually, slightly, 44 years old. 44 years old. And Manny, my friends, is the only 8-time world champion across categories. Bantam, fly, welter, in all categories. Think about it. And he's the only boxer to have been a world champion across 4 decades. 90s he was a world champion, 2000s he was the world champion, 2010s he was the world champion, 2020s also he was the world champion. Recently he won a bout and he's declared retirement. He's announced retirement. Why did he announce retirement? He's physical, very strong and all, because he wants to contest for the presidency of Philippines. He's already an MP, member of parliament. Now he wants to contest, he wants to stand for the presidency of, the Philippines. he is a current, and you know, he is the oldest welterweight champion. Welterweight, if you don't know what's welterweight, remember welterweight is someone who has a weight in this category, 63 to 67, welterweight category. He's a current world champion. Yeah, he's the oldest world champion at age 40. Just before COVID, he won the tournament. He won the title. And while he's a boxer, he and a politician and a business person, he also is a basketball coach. When I was reading this Wikipedia entry on him, I was like, my mind went back. You know, I was swooning. What is this? This, that, this, and that. He is a basketball coach of a team called a Philippine Basketball League team called Kia Mahindra. Kia, K-I-A, Mahindra. Our Mahindra company is a sponsor of the team. Okay, Kia Mahindra basketball team. He is the head coach. People work so hard. They are so passionate. Yeah, I have always been curious by nature. And when I see these people, you know, people like him and, you know, everyone else who's like that, I'm like inspired to do better. This is what we should be doing. We should be doing better, my friends. Yeah? I hope you do better. You always do better. So why don't I just tell you the names of the leaders of these countries? Thailand has a president, has a prime minister, and has a king. Let's write the name of the king. King Maha Vajiralongkorn. King Maha Vajiralongkorn. Philippines, the current president is Rodrigo Duterte. He is announced stepping down. He said that he will not contest next year's election. Earlier he had said he would contest elections. Okay, but he dropped out, and his daughter would stand, as his party's candidate. Indonesia, Jack Widodo. Vietnam. Oh, let me clear this. Vietnam has a president, a prime minister, and what is called the general secretary of the Vietnamese Communist Party. Remember, in a communist country, an absolute authoritarian communist country like Vietnam and China, the leader, the general secretary of the Communist Party is the most powerful chap. Okay, the general secretary of the Communist Party. But no one in the world would see that the GS is the most powerful guy. Within the country is the most powerful guy. But outside, it's a president that counts. Okay, so who's the president? Vin. It's pronounced Vin. V-I-N. Vin. Phu Trong. Wu Phu Trong. No. I think this guy is the general secretary. Yeah, Vin Phu Xuan. Vin Phu Xuan. Vietnam के बाद what is that? Taiwan, pretty much in news these days for all the wrong reasons, of course. Maybe in one of these sessions we'll have some question on Taiwan as well. If there is no question, I'll bring that in. Okay, I'll create my own question and bring that in, and I'll just ask our team to make a question on that. The president is Tsai Ing-wen. She is seriously anti-China. Tsai Ing-wen. India's first sports arbitration center, in fact, okay. The country's first sports arbitration center was recently inaugurated in Gujarat, Ahmedabad. You could write Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and you could write one more thing. Write this. what is this SACI going to do, right? SACI, full form, Sports Arbitration Center of India. Okay. Right, independent body to fast track and resolve disputes in the sports sector in a transparent manner. See, how do you understand English words? Trans means with. Trans means, what to say? Across. Trans means across. Par means light or equal. Technically equal. Okay. What is transparent? Trans, across, par, equal. So when you say par, equal, if something is transparent, you can see it in the same way as it appears. That is equally. There is no glitzy. You got it? Yeah. Transparent means things as they are. Basically. So in toilets and bathrooms, you find this kind of a glass, translucent glass. What is a translucent glass? Trans means across, loose, less, lum, all mean light. So when you say translucent, that which lets light come across but does not let the observer see the other side. You don't see the other side, okay, but light goes through it. That is translucent. That's how you understand words. Okay. See, you learn all this by reading, which you can, of course. By the way, who is the Union Sports Minister? Anurag Singh Thakur. You could write this. Anurag Singh Thakur. He heads two ministries. One, Youth Affairs, and Sports. Youth Affairs and Sports. And the second one is Information and Broadcasting. Next, the Union government has established the India Debt Resolution Company Limited. Find the correct statements about IDRCL. It would work in tandem with the National Asset NARCL, it's called, okay, National Asset Reconstruction Company, to clean up bad loans. This will have a paid up capital of about a little over 80 lakh on a total authorized capital of 50 crore, and public sector banks will own 49% of it. Greater the clarity about this, I could find pretty little information about this. It's hardly a month old, and we don't know how it would go about. How is this going to be different from NARCL? How is this, going to be little different from other bad banks? We'll get clarity and we'll discuss it at the right time. Okay, guys? Which country's space agency had successfully launched an Earth observing satellite named Landsat 9? Landsat 9 or Landsat 9. It's NASA. It is NASA. So before we discuss the choices, why don't you write Landsat satellite? Landsat satellite. Okay. Underline that. First one. This will collect. This satellite will collect. This NASA satellite will collect images from across the planet, every 8 days, to help monitor the planet's health, and help people manage essential resources, including crops, irrigation, forests, 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 and water. Next, will orbit the planet every 99 minutes. So I was reading this on the NASA website, and I found that each photo it would take would be of 30 meters wide. Imagine that, 30 meters across. 100 feet photo. And imagine what it would, it would scan deep inside the earth, so that we manage our resources, our planet better, my friends. Not just for today, but for tomorrow as well. What about the choices? Well, NASA, full form, you could write this. National Aeronautics and Space Administration. National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Next, look at choice 1, Roscosmos. Russian State Corporation or Russia State Corporation for space activities. Or space activities. Or you could also write Roscosmos State Corporation for space activities instead of Russia. Anyway, look at ISRO. We know the full form of ISRO. Indian Space Research Organization. Next, choice 4, JAXA. Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. Next, CNES. Last one, National Center for Space Studies. National Center for Space Studies. France. Find the winners of the 2021 Right Livelihood Award. Well, all of them actually. And these are, the two guys, Ritvik Datta on the left and Rahul Chaudhary on the right. These guys started, they're two lawyers, they started this legal initiative for forest and environment. The idea was to, empower people at the grassroots level so that, they can fight for their rights, especially the legal way. In fact, one of the biggest wins was that they filed a petition on behalf of the tribals of Odisha against Vedanta. Vedanta is one of the world's biggest mining companies, a metals company. This company wanted to set up a mine, mine and a major metals plant in Odisha. But the tribals there, they fought against it. They said that this particular plant will pollute the environment here, will destroy our livelihoods, and will not just destroy our livelihoods today, but also for the future. So we don't want this kind of development which will destroy our today and our tomorrow. So, and that case was fought by these two guys, Rahul Chaudhary on the right and Ritvik Datta on the left. Amazing, isn't it? People work so differently. Why don't you write a little about the alternate Nobel Prize, the 2021, sorry, the Right Livelihood Award. Just write Right Livelihood Award. Right Livelihood Award. Okay, underline that. First point. First point. Established 1980. Established. I don't say normally. You know that I don't use grammar like established in 1980. 1980 by Jacob. You could write with a K also. Von Uexküll of Sweden. Sweden. Next, second point. Awarded for practical and exemplary, worthy of being an example, exemplary, practical and exemplary solutions to the most urgent challenges, facing the world today. Last point. Nicknamed the alternate Nobel Prize, though there is no relationship. The alternate Nobel Prize. Alternate Nobel Prize. Next. Padma Shri awardee Balachandran passed away recently. He was a management guru, a professor of accounting and information at Kellogg University, Kellogg School of Business, Northwestern University in the United States, where he also did a PhD years back. Okay, and he founded this Chennai-based institute called Great Lakes Institute of Management, GLIM, GLIM. Great Lakes Institute of Management. He was the guy who founded this company, or this MBA college. It also has a branch in what is the place? Gurugram. Okay, he died recently. With which nation has India recently agreed to conclude a free trade agreement by the end of 2022? Australia. Now, free trade agreements are all they are all about reducing tariffs to the bare minimum, so that goods can move between the countries from between the two countries freely. This would also push up trade and thereby deepening the relationship between the two countries. The problem is that there are always this nitpicking over what to exempt, what not to exempt when it comes to free trade agreements. So it's a year in the making. We just started the process. Let's see where it takes us. Australia's capital is Canberra. You could write this sixth biggest by area. 76 lakh square kilometers. Sixth biggest by area. 76 lakh square kilometers. Its population is just about 2.5 crore. Okay. Next, you could write Canberra is a capital. Canberra, nicknamed Bush City. Bush means jungle. See, the two major cities, Sydney and Melbourne, fought to become the capital. But there was no resolution, there was no solution in sight. So the government of Australia, it built a new city in the equidistant from Sydney and Melbourne, and in the middle of the jungle. That's why it's called Bush, nicknamed Bush City. The small village of Canberra became a planned city, yeah, in Australia, Canberra. The Prime Minister is Scott Morrison. Scott Morrison. We can discuss two choices, 1 and 4, because 3 and 5 we discussed, I think, in the previous class also. Malaysia's there are two capitals. One is Putrajaya and Kuala Lumpur. Two capitals. Putrajaya and Kuala Lumpur. Two capitals. And then the Prime Minister is Ismail Yaqub. Ismail Yaqub. Okay. The currency is ringgit. Ringgit. The currency is ringgit. Poland. Poland's capital, it's a European country. Warsaw is the capital. Then we have Warsaw is the capital. Then we have the president here. Okay. Andrzej Duda. Andrzej Duda, D-U-D-A. And the currency is zloty. Currency is zloty. Which Indian company has signed a $700 million agreement with Sri Lanka Ports Authority to build a strategic deep sea container terminal company? Port. Adani Group. It's called Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Company. There is a company in the Adani Group called Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited. That's the name of the company. And it was started, contrary to what most people believe, it was started many years back. 23 years back, 1998 it was started. Okay. So this company is building this port because Sri Lanka needs money, a lot of money it needs, because it had borrowed a lot of money from China and it has not been able to repay, and because of which Sri Lanka has given this port called Hambantota port to China on a 99-year lease. 99-year lease to China. The port of Hambantota has been given to China on a 99-year lease in return for debt. In return for debt, basically as part of debt repayment. Debt repayment. Debt repayment. Crazy, na? So India now wants to build one port, and it won't be like Government of India, it will be a private company. So, who is CEO of this company? Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone. Karan Adani. Karan Adani is the CEO of this company, and overall Adani Group chairperson is Gautam Adani. Gautam Adani. Gautam Adani. L&T, Larsen and Toubro. Larsen and Toubro. You know, there were two guys from Denmark, Henning Hock Larsen and Soren Toubro, who started this company. Today it is India's largest engineering company, and its CEO is a guy called S.N. Subramanian. Okay, yeah. Name the 25th James Bond series film released recently and features Daniel Craig as a fictional British MI6 agent. MI6. MI is military intelligence. Military intelligence. Britain in the past had 12 spy agencies called MI1 to MI12. They shut down 10 of them. They kept MI5 and MI6. MI6 is for foreign operations, spying on the world around, and MI5 is for domestic intelligence operations. MI5. and the film is No Time to Die. This is Daniel Craig, my all-time favorite James Bond's actor. James Bond is a fictional character, of course. We know that is a fictional or fictitious character working for the British spy agency MI6. And Daniel Craig, this is said to be the last film of Daniel Craig in this role. And he had started off with Casino Royale, then what is that? Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and this particular company. So, we have the director. Why don't we write the name of the director? What is this? No Time to Die. Director is Keri Joji Fukunaga. Keri Joji Fukunaga. I love James Bond, so I'm sure that most of you do love. Yeah. See, in the next class, maybe I'll talk about spy agencies. This is one of my favorite subjects, discussing spy stuff. Yeah, but I'll limit myself, of course. NABARD extends refinancing facility through commercial banks and for extending RRB, for extending credit to all of the above. In fact, all of them. Regional rural banks. RRBs are regional rural banks. NABARD. Why don't you write NABARD? Full form of NABARD. So, full form of NABARD. First point. National Bank for Agriculture. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. Second point, established 1982. Head office Mumbai. Third, chairperson Chintala Govindarajulu. Chintala Govindarajulu. Okay. Chintala Govindarajulu. So, I guess that's it. The question is self-explanatory when you say all of the above, isn't it? Current and savings account in banks are called demand deposits. Okay, maybe in the next class we'll start off with this particular question. We'll look at demand account, savings account, demand accounts, time accounts, and everything. Maybe we could also look at FCNR deposits in the next class. Okay, so we'll start with this particular question in the next class, because it is going to take some time. I want to be detailed. I want to tell you a little more than what I would normally tell you in the passing for this particular question. Okay? Alstom, a rolling stock manufacturer, has delivered the 100th fully electric high-powered double-section locomotive to Indian Railways. The company is based in France. Yeah, it's based in France. Why don't you write this? I think this will help you. Head office, Paris. Second, CEO, Henry Poupart Lafarge. Henry Poupart Lafarge is the CEO. So it's a world. It's almost a 9 billion euro. 9 billion euro company. It's like $10 billion company. It's a huge company. It makes all kinds of railway related equipment, engines. It's the owner of one of the world's fastest trains, Trans Grande Vise, which in the past had clocked a speed of about 587 kmph. Yeah, 587 kilometer, 587 kmph, my friends. So that's crazy. And most of its trains run in France. They clock usual speed is 320 kmph. High speed rail network, it's called HSR network, high speed rail network. Just to tell you a little about these countries, maybe we could pick the names of the leaders of these countries. France, you know. Anyway, to repeat: Paris, Emmanuel Macron is the president. Currency is euro. Okay. Japan will have a new prime minister pretty soon, so we will not discuss Japan now. Okay. But since you could be asked who was the previous prime minister before the new guy comes in, Yoshihide Suga. Yoshihide Suga. That's the Japanese prime minister's name, and the currency is yen. Currency is yen. Germany has an outgoing chancellor, Angela Merkel. The capital is Berlin, and Angela Merkel is outgoing chancellor. We don't know who will succeed her. Elections have been held, but too tight. Let's see who comes up on tops, who makes a better coalition basically. Currency is euro. German currency is euro. Canada is the second biggest country in the world by area. Its capital is Ottawa. Its prime minister is a guy called Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau. That's the prime minister. Currency is the Canadian dollar. We'll just clear this so that we could write information about Switzerland. Switzerland, like Nauru, does not have a capital. Okay. Nauru, we mentioned the capital is Yaren, Y-A-R-E-N, but there is no capital by law. By fact, the capital is Yaren in Nauru Island. The same goes for Switzerland. The law has not established any city to be the capital of Switzerland, but de facto, that is by the fact of it, because the government sits in Bern, it's Bern, that taken to be the capital of Switzerland. Okay. Then Switzerland has a federal council. Every year, this 7-member council take turns. Each member of the 7 members take turns to become president for 1 year. This year, it is Guy Parmelin. The president of Switzerland is Guy Parmelin, and the currency is franc, Swiss franc. Which multinational financial institution has signed with India a $182 million finance contract for Pune Metro Rail? The European Investment Bank. European Investment Bank is headquartered in Luxembourg, which is both a city and a country. Headquartered in Luxembourg, and it's headed by a German bureaucrat named bureaucrat and politician Werner Hoyer. You could write Germany. Yeah. Just one more bank. I'm not going to discuss all of them. Asian Development Bank. What is it? Headquartered in Manila. We know that Manila is the capital of Philippines. Okay, Philippines. And it's headed by Masatsugu Asakawa. Masatsugu Asakawa. Asakawa is from Japan. Which European country has recently acknowledged that it committed genocide? Genocide is a killing of a large number of people on the basis of their race, their ethnicity, who they are, essentially. Yeah, who they were born as. Committed genocide during its colonial occupation in Namibia, Germany. See, you could write this. Germany occupied Namibia in 1884. Occupied Namibia in 1884. This is Namibia. South Africa, Namibia, Angola. Okay. So, ceded control to South Africa in 1919. Ceded control to South Africa in 1919. It participated in the First World War, lost it. The Treaty of Versailles gave, Africa, some of the African positions of Germany to the British. So, the Germans by nature were very cruel persons. See, the Portuguese were extraordinarily cruel. The Spanish were worse than Portuguese. So, Spanish and Portuguese were the most cruel of all colonizers, my friends. The Belgians were not very far. Of course, so were the Germans. But the most is because I have always liked to read colonial history, colonial exploration of Asia, Africa, and South America, Central America by the Europeans. I have read extensively on this. The most violent word, the most discriminatory, the most, there's hardly a word for them. The greatest oppressors were the Spanish and the Portuguese. Then comes the Belgians. But these guys were mad, crazy. And, when we look at Namibian genocide by Germans, what did they do? Who did they kill him? See, 50% of the Nama population, Nama is a tribe, okay, in Namibia. 50% of the Nama tribe was killed by Germany. Yes, 50%. This was a very small tribe. 10,000 people were killed. Okay, about 65,000 of another tribe called Herero tribe were killed. Criminals, the Germans were, my friends. And those who survived the genocide, they were subject to extraordinarily great deal of torture, racial discrimination, disposition of their assets, especially land, and a great deal of racial discrimination. They were just not treated as humans, my friends. The Europeans never did, basically. See, I'm not talking like I would like to make you believe, or rather, I would like you to believe that I'm not talking like a nationalist. But think of it: what extraordinary assets, resources did any European country to have? Did any European country have to become that rich to have those palaces and everything? Tell me, what resources? No metals were there, no agricultural extraordinary stuff was there, no mineral wealth was there, except for here and there. That's about it. These were all looted by the Europeans from Americas, especially from Central and South America, Africa, Asia, Southeast Asia. That's how they built what they have. And they always talk about, we are the civilized, you are the barbarians. Amazing, guys. Some other time I'll tell you more about this. It is believed that the German population, the policy against Namibians was what inspired Adolf Hitler to adopt against the Jews of Germany. And between 1933 and 1945, Adolf Hitler is said to have killed about almost 2 crore people, and he killed including 61 lakh Jews. Some other time, we don't really have the time for all these things, because yours is a fact-based exam. They give you this, is this the right thing? Kind of pick the right thing, kind of. There's no descriptive stuff. Anyway, some other time we'll discuss more, my friends. That's it, guys. Thanks from me. Thanks for being here. Stay curious, stay safe, and always make sure that you take care of yourself. Thank you.